Hello everyone, it's Brian and Keem. I'm here to review episode 6 of season 10, titled Bonds. I enjoyed this episode. I think it was around about as good as episode 5 to a little bit better, so I would say it's a low grade. And I'm going to explain it all here. I can't believe we only have 2 more episodes this year, and that's it. That's just crazy. So the episode starts with Carol waking up and going to get ready for her day. She gets dressed, gets supplies, and she looks at her gun, and it's implied that she doesn't take it with her because she's out of bullets, but we're gonna see that probably next episode or yeah. Anyways, we get Daryl on the porch with Dog, and he notices Carol, so he goes up to her, and Carol, says that, she acts like Daryl can come with her to just like look for Negan, but Daryl doesn't believe her and asks what they're really doing out here, and she says that they're gonna find and take out Alpha's horde, but that's probably another lie, and most likely it is, and we'll see later. Also, I made a mistake last episode saying that it was Brandon who freed Negan because they said that it wasn't, and also it was probably Carol. So yeah, we get the intro, and Dante is looking over another person who has the stomach virus. I think her name is Cheryl, who, along with Rosita, makes 7 people now in the community who are infected by this stomach virus. Sadiq shows up and wants to help out, but Dante says he's got it. Negan tells the Whisperers about how he wants to join them. Negan even tells Beta that he's been a prisoner for 8 years and will tell them what they want to know. But I'm pretty sure Negan, I guess it makes sense to say 8 years than 8.5 years, but I think that's the correct, time. Anyways, at the hilltop, Nabila is helping Eugene set up his radio station in the hilltop's attic, and I'm glad we're getting more of her because, she is Jerry's wife, and Nabila is one of the few remaining people from the kingdom left. So I'm glad the show reintroduced her, or at least acknowledged that yeah, she still exists. It's not like Scott where pretty much no one knows who he is. Anyways, Eugene talks with Rosita on the radio, who is still sick with the stomach virus. The radio has a spark, so Eugene asks if he can fix it first, and then they can reschedule their talk, and Rosita agrees. Daryl and Carol are being friends with each other, throwing acorns and stuff, and Carol, tells Daryl to, try with Connie, that there is a point to like romance and that she's a nice girl, so that was cool. But unfortunately, Carol and Daryl shippers are never gonna stop. I don't think it's impossible to sink that ship. Anyways, they see a small horde, and Daryl sees at least one whisper in the distance. So yeah, that's interesting. Alpha and Beta argue over what to do with Negan, and Beta says that they should kill Negan because he's a threat, but Alpha says to test him. And when Alpha asks Beta if he's challenging her authority, Beta kneels down and saying that he doesn't want to be Alpha, that he would never dethrone her. Sadiq visits Rosita and takes her to the infirmary, but Rosita should have told Sadiq that she's supposed to be talking with Eugene on the radio soon. Daryl and Carol talk about how they're going to find Alpha's horde. If they find it, it's going to be dangerous and people are going to pay for it if they fail. And when Carol says she's going to the bathroom, Daryl checks her bag, and Carol sees it when she comes back. And Daryl says that even though Carol ran out of bullets for a gun, there's still some stuff in the storage room. But couldn't they have used that ammo before? I thought the group was like completely out of ammunition. I don't know. Anyways, Beta tests Negan, making him work, dig holes. They even skin some walkers and leave the skin on branches to dry out. We get this funny comedic song playing. I don't know what it's called, but I'm sure people will find out, and they'll find out that this was a pretty funny scene. Negan and Beta even bring some walker corpses, but are they burying them? I think they are, because they're moving them after they're being skinned, so maybe they don't want the survivors to find them? Who knows? They even hunt and kill a boar. Sadiq brings Rosita and Coco to the infirmary, and we see that there's even more people who are infected now. It's an epidemic, and this reminded me of the season 4 flu big time. Sadiq gets mad at Dante for letting it get this bad, and he goes to help out, really hoping these people make it, but it's not very likely, unfortunately. Carol and Daryl cross the border, and with Negan, Beta won't let him eat, but a whisper gives Negan his piece of food. Eugene is on the radio, and some unknown woman picks up, probably the same woman from the season 9 finale. Carol and Daryl see the herd, and Carol steps on a branch, unfortunately, which makes a small noise, and the walkers turn around and come towards her. And I'm sorry, but there's no way like walkers have supersonic hearing. To hear a twig snapping while making noises in a herd from like 30 feet away. Like I don't know, just no. That's a little bit too much. Eugene, meanwhile, is talking to the woman, and she doesn't say it here, but her name is Stephanie, and you know, she doesn't really want to say, her name or anything that Eugene might use against, her. Daryl, meanwhile, covers himself in walker blood to get past the walkers. Daryl actually snapped the neck of the walker, so it's still alive, which is a cool touch because in previous seasons, like almost anything could kill walkers, so it's supposed to only be brain damage that kills a walker, so that was a nice touch of consistency. Sadiq is talking with Cheryl, and Sadiq goes to apologize to Dante about earlier. It's got to be the walker blood that Gamma put in the river that's causing the sickness. I mean, it just has to be. Sadiq takes Coco, but when he closes his eyes, we hear Alpha's voice talking to him, I think, and we hear screaming as well. Suddenly, Sadiq wakes up and sees that he's standing on the windmill in Alexandria with him and baby Coco in his arms. So Sadiq, he must be having some kind of like psychogenic blackouts or something, but why? Like this is new. Like I don't know. Also, is it possible that Sadiq is having these blackouts and doing something bad? I don't know if we can trust Sadiq anymore. I mean, anyways, Beta and Negan are talking in what looks like the middle of a herd. So I'm not sure how the walkers don't notice Negan because he has no skin. And Beta he doesn't trust Negan, but Negan says that he's not going anywhere. And Beta kills Whisper, who gave Negan his food earlier. And the walkers start going towards Negan when Beta leaves. But like there might have been a few walkers with Beta, maybe like more than just Beta and that Whisper he killed. But that's gotta be an error. Like how did the walkers not a single one notice Negan, was a person, that's what I'm saying? Also, Beta was told by Alpha to test Negan, but Beta just, flat out tries to kill him here, He takes it into his own hands. Back with Carol, she has captured a Whisper, and Daryl sees that she has zip tied him, that, zip ties weren't in her back, so he suspects that that was her plan from the beginning. They leave because they don't want to get caught. Back with Eugene, he tells Stephanie his name, and they make a deal where Eugene will trust Stephanie first, and Stephanie agrees, but says that if he tells anyone about her this soon, or someone else, talks to her on the radio that isn't him, the deal's off. Eugene agrees, and Beta, meanwhile in the morning, he tells Alpha that Negan is dead because he was weak. Negan immediately shows up, acting all high and mighty about his, toughness. He compliments Alpha and kneels. Negan is starting to win Alpha's favor, and Beta looks on worried, and the episode ends, right there. So I think this was a really good episode, like just a little bit great, if I have to say. But it did have some inconsistencies, with Negan in the middle of a herd. And does this episode feel like the first episode of a two-parter? I don't know. That was a little weird. Like let me know if you guys felt that way too. Also, the Whisper War is kind of taking too long to come. I really don't want it to be predictable and come at the end of episode 8, but it's starting to look like that. But, I like the comedy in this episode, there was a good amount of comedy. Also, there was no Gamma in this episode, so I wonder, what she's doing, you know. Also, I'm willing to bet that the person that's getting punched in the infirmary by Daryl in the shot during the trailer in this picture is the Whisperer that Carol caught. So people thought it was going to be Dante or Sadiq or, like, Gage or like other characters, but it's most likely the Whisperer. We also get No Michonne again in this episode, so yeah, they're really preparing for whenever she leaves, and I'm looking forward to the next episode. More Negan and the Whisperers. There's only 2 episodes left, guys. If you enjoyed my review, please like, share, comment, and subscribe if you can. It really helps me out a ton. Thank you for those of you who did. I really appreciate it. And thank you for anyone who is still watching this long. Until next time, guys, take care. Bye.